Hi guys, it's Mitch here, just coming on to do this week's Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you were drawn to card 1, you have got the energy of the Two of Cups coming in. Now, Two of Cups is a card of connections, it's bringing people together. Now, sometimes this can be romantically, hence we've got this lovely sort of mistletoe that these two are standing under, and sometimes it's the connection of, or the starting points of a relationship emerging or unfolding. So it could be that there's somebody new in your life that you're quite drawn to, you're quite connected to, and it could be that perhaps you're starting to intertwine and see where your friendship kind of goes, and it might sort of lead into a romantic kind of setting or offering. Sometimes this can also be about needing to connect with our loved ones that we already sort of hold dear to us. So it could be if you've already got kind of partners in your life that you're needing to make a little bit more of a connection with each other. So perhaps, you know, needing to go on a date night, see a show, maybe the pantomime as it's Christmas season coming up, or something else that kind of catches your fancy or takes your fancy. Maybe it's just needing to connect and go out for a nice meal. Maybe it's just having a takeaway on the sofa, chilling with Netflix or a good film, and just, you know, switching the world off for a bit. Sometimes as well, when this card shows, it could be that perhaps you're thinking about the next stage in a relationship. So if you're with somebody, it could be that you're wanting to perhaps pop the question and obviously you know, maybe get engaged. If you're already engaged, it could be the planning and the next sort of stages into marriage. It could also be that perhaps you're looking into some sort of ceremony like a hand fasting, but it's all about connections, bringing people together. It could just be that you're somebody that has been on your own for a time, and whilst there isn't anybody immediately around, you're open to the possibility or the idea of love and romance, and maybe that in itself is quite a big stepping stone for you, but it's usually connections. Okay, so that's really, really important. That's definitely the theme with card 1, if you've been drawn to it. And it's also sometimes embracing new friendship circles as well. It's not always romantically, but it's people coming into your life that add purpose, add potential and add value. So maybe some of you are just allowing new friendship circles to form and to bond, and that again might be quite scary for some of us that are quite solitary kind of creatures as a rule. So I hope you can make sense of that, embrace the connections as and when they want to sort of surface and show for you. Now, if you were drawn to card 2, we're going into the energy of the Four of Cups. When the Four of Cups shows, this is a card of thinking and feeling a little bit confused at times, certainly feeling a little bit overwhelmed by aspects of life. And what's really important here, the spiritual hand is coming in with a gift, it's coming in with an offering, and this cup represents all of your abundance, your prosperity, your emotional well-being, great opportunities, great adventures. But sometimes we go through things that sort of make us feel a little bit held back, a little bit overwhelmed, and sometimes we get so caught up in sort of the things that we're having to manage or deal with or sort of put our energy into. Sometimes we get a little bit like tunnel vision, and sometimes we forget about the bigger picture. Sometimes we don't see all this great stuff that wants to come into our life because we're so focused with this on the floor. Now, you could see these cups as past, present and future, the good, the bad, the ugly. You could just see these as maybe things that you're focusing on and having to manage and keep afloat at this immediate space in time. But this person is sort of, you know, sitting down looking quite sort of, you know, arms folded, quite closed off energy, and they're so consumed in whatever this is kind of delivering or giving them, they kind of can't see past it. So there is a need here to expand your awareness a little bit and see beyond the initial problems, the initial blockages. Maybe some of you are feeling a little bit wary by new opportunities that have presented themselves, and you could be feeling a little bit guarded. That could be romantically, that could be with a business venture, that could just be with perhaps ongoing energies in your immediate lifestyle. but don't overlook the gifts and the opportunities that are wanting to come your way for fear or for anxiety. It's really important as well not to kind of focus on the things that have gone wrong in the past. It doesn't mean that those things will replay in the immediate space, because sometimes when we've been let down by somebody or we've had a negative experience, we sometimes fear new opportunities in case they lead to something similar from past cycles, but there's no reason why they would need to. So the tree's wanting to keep everything grounded, and it's about you staying grounded and not getting overwhelmed by whatever you're sort of dealing with at this present stage in time. So keep your focus high vibed if you can. It's really interesting that they're all cups this week, so emotions in various different ways. And then as we're going into, I did give them a really good shuffle, I promise. As we're going into card 3, we're going into the 5 of Cups if you felt drawn to that. Now, if you felt kind of drawn to card 3, it could be at the moment that some of you are really suffering quite a bit behind closed doors. Some of you might be doing that in a more public setting and sort of expressing that. Some of you might be sort of just feeling like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders at the moment, because this is a card of just feeling like things are a little bit overwhelming, a little bit heavy, and sometimes really feeling kind of consumed in worries and fears. Maybe there's a little bit of a depression. Some of you might be going through some heavy grief at the moment. Christmas time for people in general as well is not always a happy occasion. It's not always a happy time period. I know that we're sort of forced to buy into this Mary Poppins version of Christmas, but for some people it actually is quite a hard time of year. And it's really important, if you're drawn to this card, not to get sort of swallowed or consumed in that negative or that heavy energy. I know for a lot of people with the fear again, with the pandemic and, you know, the COVID and these other variations of virus that are all going about, some people are feeling quite fragile with that energy. There's loads of different things that this could represent and it could be, but the key thing with this card is not to get consumed in this too much. It's really important to focus on where you have power, where you can make a difference, what the blessings are that you still hold and you still carry, because there will be blessings in your life, but sometimes we get so brought down by everything, we forget or we overlook what we do hold close to our heart. So these 2 cups to the side that almost, you know, you've turned your back on at the moment, those represent your blessings. Those are the things to carry forward. And in the back of this card there's a bridge, and it leads to like new adventures. So it's almost saying embrace this, accept this feeling for the time that you need it for, but don't get consumed, don't stay stuck there. Pick yourself back up and take the cups that still offer you hope and merit and something positive. Walk over the bridge and actively give yourself permission to move forward. Move past this experience if it's not giving you a high vibe feeling. If you're feeling let down, fragile, flat, you don't have to stay in that energy. You know, you might have to embrace it and, you know, make peace with it, but then you can actively move forward. And that's what this card is really encouraging you. So I hope you can make sense of those. Going to leave these with you. Stay safe, stay well, have a fantastic week ahead. I'll see some of you guys very soon. Don't forget, on Thursday I'm doing the live that I wasn't able to do on Monday because me and Evelyn just came down with really kind of weird migraines. It was really random because it's very rare I get a migraine. So we're going to aim to try for Thursday 7:30 until 9 o'clock. We'll be doing our little live on Facebook. So if some of you guys are free to join us then, it'd be great to see you. Take care, and I'll catch up soon. Bye for now.